Hey guys, good morning. This is day 3 of Photoshop World and this is already the final day. Time flies. Incredible. Hey, I promised you guys to show you some cool stuff about our hotel room, right? So, it's that time. But in the background, you probably hear my laptop. I'm rendering yesterday's episode of Behind the Closed Doors because it was 2:30 in the morning and it was way too late to render the vlog, so the one from yesterday was a little bit later. I'm sorry for that. And because we fly tonight, we also create backups. Because remember, backups are very important. When you fly, something can go wrong with your laptop or it can even be misplaced. So make sure you make a backup and store that drive in a different location. Now we use the LaCie drives for it because they're really rugged, they're really strong. But you can use, of course, any drive of your choice. But I advise the LaCies, especially when you travel. As promised, some cool things about our hotel room. Now you know those times when you go to the restroom or you take a shower and you go like, what should I do in the meantime that I brush my teeth? Well, this hotel room has a solution. Now this may look like a normal mirror, but no, it is a mirror with a remote control. And of course, if you press power on, well, it should work. Maybe it reflects the signal. There you go. So now in the mirror, you can actually watch TV. Well, that's not all. Those moments at night that you really have to go to the restroom and it's pitch dark in your room and you stumble into the restroom and then you turn on the light and you go like, okay, that's very, very bright. Well, they solved that here too. Watch this. I now create something that's called a dark atmosphere. In other words, I just didn't turn on the light, but okay, that didn't sound that nice, so make it a little bit more dramatic. So you walk into your bathroom, and the lights turn on, but it's just a very, very tiny light under the sink. Isn't that awesome? Not at all, because if you have to get out of your bed, well, you have to turn on the light, right? No, they also thought about that. Now, watch this. As soon as you step out of your bed, also that light will turn on. And trust me, it's a little thing, but it's actually great at night. Maybe we have to install it in our house too. Okay, we're packing up our suitcases because again, at 2:30 we have to leave the hotel. Or 3, maybe 3:30, because at 6:20 in the AM we're gonna leave from Orlando to New York. Okay, and for the next 1-second tip, we have Mr. Joel Grimes.
All right, we just got out of one of my classes, and one of the things I said was create a body of work in a series. That means repeat something over and over more than 99.9% of the people on the planet, and then you become an expert at something.
Next up for the 1-second tip, Mr. Erik Valind.
Hey, how's it going? All right. My life motto used to be you can sleep when you're dead, and then you start to feel like you're dead all the time. So make sure you take care of your body, take your weekends off, have a nice work-life balance. Nothing's ever going to replace that time.
And especially after Photoshop World, I can totally confirm. And now for the 1-second tip, and she's the most beautiful hair in the world. It's a great dog photographer, Kaylee.
Thank you so much, Frank. Okay, so check this out. When you're photographing dogs, have a dog sit right at your feet, right? And look straight up at you with those big, big puppy dog eyes. Then use a 50mm lens and open it like all the way up. 1.4, f2, something like that. And then put single focus point right on the puppy dog eye, snap, and you'll have a portrait that I promise you no dog owner will ever be able to turn away.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you, Frank.
Okay, and next up for the 1-second tip, Daniel. Daniel, what is your 1-second tip?
Look for inspiration, not imitation.
Very much wisdom in just 2 sentences. On our way to the wrap-up party, and this is the final part of Photoshop World for the attendees. Again, time flies when you're having fun, and Photoshop World is always fun.
so what we're going to do in this closing session is we're going to do something and reward some people that have submitted gurus. The only people that are eligible to submit are here and are...
Great pleasure of working with Scott and his incredibly talented team at Kelby One. For almost 15 years, we've been partnering with Scott to get his books out into the world and to help share his passion for educating people about photography and Lightroom and Photoshop. Sometimes those years feel they've gone by in a flash, so it's nice to take a moment to think about what Scott wrote and published in that time. Most of you might remember, no, some of you might remember early books like Photoshop 6 Down and Dirty Tricks, or the Killer Tips series, or Scott's very first Photoshop for digital photographers, which published in 2003, or the first digital photography book in 2006, his first Lightroom book released in 2007. Lightroom is 10 years old, you guys. As I scanned through the list, I thought about how many times Scott would call and say, I have an amazing idea, or I want to try something new, or you won't believe how cool this is. In the years we've worked with Scott, he's written more than 80 books. That's a crazy number for anyone, you guys. But Scott has done this while running a company and putting on a little show like, say, Photoshop World. And I don't know how he does it. We simply don't know. We assume he doesn't sleep, but he must. I'm always struck by his curiosity, his enthusiasm, his genuine excitement about learning, his boundless generosity, and his limitless creativity. Scott, your books educate and inspire people throughout the world, and I'm excited and honored to let everyone know you've reached an amazing milestone in the global publishing community. So Scott, on behalf of Peach Pit and all your fans throughout the world, I would like to congratulate you on the incredible accomplishment of selling over 5 million books. Please join me in recognizing Scott Kelby.
Thank you. I did not see that coming, but I'm standing backstage and they're putting my mic on and I see Nancy on stage. I'm like, ooh, this is good. Thank you guys. Thanks to everyone who's purchased any one of my books ever. I love getting to write. I'm like that guy that goes to a restaurant and it's really good and he has to call every friend he knows. I'm the same way about photography and Photoshop and Lightroom and all that stuff. If I learn something new, I can't wait to share it with you guys. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for all your support, for allowing me to write, keep writing books, and just thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Goes to Scott Spongeberg. Scott, are you here? And you got to come up and we'll get you the certificate over on this side of the stage. Scott here. Dale Beard. Let me get back to my list. Okay. We are about ready to give away the grand prize. But first, ladies and gentlemen, please ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage.
We do not hire an outside management company to run Photoshop World. We literally take all the gang from Kelby One's headquarters and we come out and work the show. The reason we do it is we love getting to meet all the people that we teach throughout the year. During this conference, we've been able to meet people who I recognize their names, I see them on the online and stuff, and here we get to shake their hands and give them a hug. And it's a whole different level of engagement. We love it so much. So I wanted you to know that as you're walking through the halls, as you go to the info desk, as somebody hands you a workbook, could be an editor of Photoshop User Magazine, someone from the marketing department, the web department, any department in the building. We bring as many people as we can over. We leave 3 people lonely and scared back at home office. But it's something that we love. It's something that we look forward to all year long. It's so important to us. It brings us together as a company to be here, and we're so delighted.
And for the next 1 second tip, here we have the world famous, but don't ever give him your telephone number, that's my 1 second tip, Mr. Robert Vanelli. And it's not vanilla, it's Vanelli.
Hey Frank, all right, 1 second tip, learn to hold your camera properly. Put your elbow up under tight like a tripod, put the barrel of the lens here, and then press it up against your eye, pause, inhale, and then take the shot. But keep everything nice and tight, avoid doing one of these things because it's gonna give you camera shake.
Okay, cool. Okay guys, that was the end of Photoshop World. Absolutely amazing time. If you ever want to learn everything you want to know about photography, Lightroom, Photoshop World is the way to go. I'm gonna go to the hotel room, gonna edit the vlog, and then, well, we still have a small after party. And then tonight, we fly to New York. On our way for the final part of Photoshop World, the instructor's goodbye party. Sounds sad, right? But next Photoshop World, we'll see him again. And it's time for another 1 second tip, this time from Mr. Dave Clayton.
Hello Frank. Yeah, if you're buying graphic stock, if you're buying Adobe stock, or if you're doing a job for a client, always try and get the biggest image you can, because if you buy a small image and say you're doing a flyer or a business card and your client will come back and say, I want something big, and you've got a tiny little image. You can always go small, but you can't enlarge. So always buy the biggest file you can get.
Okay, and another 1 second tip, and this time from Mr. Kloskowski. I really practice on his name.
He really did. All right, my 1 second tip is, oh gosh, this is really harder than it seems. The adjustment brush. You know how to use the adjustment brush, Lightroom Camera Raw, use it. That is the biggest part of photo editing. Use it, paint things, make them brighter, make them darker, but don't neglect that part of your photo editing. Please.
Okay, and the next 1 second tip from somebody really special, Mr. Scott Kelby.
Hi everybody. So here's the tip. Anytime I look at a retoucher's work and there's a problem with it, like, ooh, there's bad retouching, it's always the same thing. It's always too much. So if you want to be a good retoucher, here's my tip. Don't get it right where you want it and then back it off and do less. When it comes to retouching, less is more.
Okay, that was Photoshop World Orlando 2017. Again, time flies, man. And this was absolutely awesome. Now, you heard Scott saying it on the stage. Photoshop World is totally special. It's literally that feeling of your instructors really close to the audience, the attendees, but also the staff of Kelby 1. It's not a hired staff, it's literally their own people, and that's what you feel. Photoshop World has this special, almost family-like feeling. I think that's the best expression. It's almost like family and very, very close friends. And as you know, I do a lot of trade shows, and that feeling, well, professional imaging, yes. Photoshop World, yes. All the other trade shows, they're really cool, and we love meeting up with you guys, but that feeling of organization versus the instructors that all bond together, it's really unique. Hey guys, we have to fly today at, actually tomorrow, at 6:20 a.m. Yeah, who thought of that? So that means that we have to get up at 3 a.m. in the morning to get to Orlando Airport. That means that I'm now closing off the vlog, editing the vlog, uploading it for you guys, and then I'm gonna go to sleep for about 3 or 4 hours. And then we're gonna start a new vlog on our way to New York. Hey guys, please subscribe to our channel and leave comments below, like, well, you know the drill. See you again Bye bye.